Where's the best place for content on the world of Ice and Fire?
Right over there. See where I am pointing with my dagger? I just found
Sporking News Podcast. With me, Sporking. Make sure you like and subscribe.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a Spork of Ice and Fire. I am Scott with Sporking News Podcast, and tonight we are going to be talking about the Winds of Winter. Who lives, who dies, and who have we forgotten? Characters we're talking about in the world of Planetos. With me tonight, as always, are two of my regular panelists. We have the lovely Bad Takes Bojan. How are you?
Hello, hello. Doing well. It's nice and cool in Chicagoland. So fall may be here to stay, or I'm speaking soon.
I can't wait for fall to really kick in because I hate summer. I love fall. I bring on winter too. I don't mind it. But anyways, we'll talk about that another time. Also, we have with us Mr. Grant Gregory. How are you, sir?
Yeah, doing good. Happy to be here and talk some Song of Ice and Fire. And yeah, it should be good. And we'll try and have some of the best takes in the fandom, unlike some other people who have some very bad takes.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. We're not going to be talking about on this show. We will never talk about politics or anything like that ever again, or tragedies, because it's not the place for it. That's on other shows like I don't know, Aluminum Spork on Thursday nights and when I can make it. All right. So anyways, we are going to be talking about tonight, like I said, the characters going into a Winds of Winter, that the regulars, the Danys, the Jon Snows, the Tyrions, but we'll also talk about some that we haven't seen in a couple books. So I hope you enjoy the show. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about a couple other things, because this is, I know it's a Spork of Ice and Fire, but we do talk other fantasy not genres, but titles, and other IPs. But we're going to start with Bad Takes Bojan gave me some info. So if you don't mind sharing it, what's going on with the start date for Dunk and Egg?
It looks like we are getting, as they called it, a chilly opening, meaning it is supposed to come out in January sometime.
Now, historically, it was April. Then they moved it to like July for House of the Dragon. April's usually the time they start so they can make it into the Emmy Awards of that year. So it's kind of weird that they're starting in January. Now, wasn't this supposed to come out this past summer, like the summer we're in, or just
it was either the past summer or very early fall? Like it should have premiered beginning of September-ish was my initial impression. But it does look like House of the Dragon season 3 will come almost right after Dunk and Egg, without too much of a break.
All right. Yeah. Also, in other news, there's a rumor going around that I saw earlier that Entertainment Insider Daniel Richman claims that for the new HBO series, the Harry Potter series, casting calls for Voldemort have included both men and women. So that's fueling the speculation that they may gender swap the character. That doesn't work, but I can see them, like I said, backstage, maybe using a woman, but like a androgynous woman, like Tilda Sweeney. I think that's who plays Gabriel in.
You mean Swinton?
Swinton. Okay, I got that wrong. Yeah, her. The kind of you know, if she wants to, she could look like a dude, maybe. Because I don't know. What do you guys think about that? It really screws up like one of the biggest reveals in the story. But what do you guys think of Voldemort being a woman? It'd be kind of funny that the most terrible human ever, a wizard, is a woman.
How do you make Voldemort a woman with making her the actual bad guy? Like Voldemort is like pure evil,
right?
So it'll be Harry's father's fault.
Like it'd have to be earlier than that. Someone spurned her at a young age. Yeah, it's weird.
So it was Dumbledore's fault because scorned lovers. Oh no, but then that would make him straight.
Hey, Sherry. Yeah, and Kirsty. So weird, but yeah, it would make him straight. That's weird. But like one of the biggest reveals, if you've never read or saw the movies, spoiler, in Chamber of Secrets, when we find out that the character Tom in the diary turns out to be Voldemort, and he puts his name up there, middle name included, and it's an anagram. Like anagram, is it? I forget.
Yeah, anagram.
Right, where he changes the letters around and it spells "I am Lord Voldemort." So, like, okay,
Also, they add a letter in. It's not a true anagram.
is it really? They add a letter?
No, yeah, it's not a true anagram.
I never noticed that. I'm gonna have to look that up now. I never noticed that. But like, if you switch the name Tom, you definitely don't have Tom in there extra. So, like, you would have to like change his Voldemort's whole name, like first and at least middle name, to make that work. If they plan to make the character a female, but
Tomalina?
Tomalina,
Or it could be Tam, short for
Mm.
Tamra or Tammy, because I actually went to college with someone who went through a reversal, and they started life as Tom and are now Tammy.
Yeah, but that's too many Ammies. What we call her, Lady Voldemort, or she who must not be named. Like,
Madam Voldemort.
Madam. Okay. Yeah, but okay.
Or call it Tina.
There has been
That
no there has been no credible production announcements, so nobody from HBO, Warner Brothers, or any other linking to the series have come out to say yes or no with this casting call. But like, if it's a casting call, couldn't we find that? Rickman's Rickman sometimes does share leaks that are unverified or later turn out to be inaccurate. So we got to remember that. J.K. Rowling
It depends on if it's an open or closed casting call. If it's a closed casting call, they announce that it's happening, but you won't get what's on the sheet, what they're looking for. Usually only happens with open ones.
Do you think someone leaked this to get some buzz around, because it's been, there was a big buzz when they casted the Golden Trio. There was a big buzz when they casted Blake. Blake. That would be.
How do you get Blake and Snape mixed up?
Well, it's like Black Snape, I guess. Blake. I don't know. Yeah. So Black Snape.
Just call him Papa Snape.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't know Blake Shelton moved from country music.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it. Changing Snape to a black man changes the dynamic completely, where you have now James and the Marauders are involved in hate crimes towards another student.
Well, okay, here's the thing. If he's still, they're both wizards, and he does get, like, I'm not going to use the word lynch, but I don't know how else to describe it when he gets strangled up near a tree. Yeah. Is it still considered a hate crime if they're both wizards, even though race has never really been a thing that's been introduced to it?
Right. The only kind of like racial divide is mudbloods and half breeds, and it's all about blood purity. Adding in,
which is what you want when you're attacking a black character.
Right. 100%. We're getting into Jimmy the Greek territory. If you know who that is, if not, look it up. But like, it's again, just like House of the Dragon, this will be the truth. It's not. They said that this Harry Potter series was going to be a faithful adaptation of the books, and I wanted to believe them. Can't believe them now. Can't. You could have made Harry black. I wouldn't have cared. You could have made Hermione, because they have already on the stage. But like, a character like, you couldn't make the Weasleys black, because then you would have the only like black family is the poorest one. You can't
the reason that you can't do that, because you can't reverse gingercide.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, most gingers get replaced. Think about it.
Yeah, but it's just not going to be on Netflix. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. But there's like over 100 characters that have. There's a great article in. Who wrote the article again? Oh my God, I'm blanking on our friend's
You
website.
can because they're basically like a poor
Spencer.
family. It just wouldn't work. If they were the Malfoys, you could, but then they would have to be the good guys.
Right. But it would work if you made the Malfoys black and rich and bad. It would have worked. But yeah, it's the optics that they just never think about, like beyond just skin deep. No pun, but like they don't think about how that'll affect the actual show. And when you point that out, you're the bad person for pointing it out. But whatever. We're not here to, go too deep into that. We are actually tonight, we're going to ask the question. Every fan.
Before we start off on casting news, there is also a recent cast that has just been announced for season 3 of Game of Thrones. Daeron has actually officially now been cast.
Oh, he
hasn't filmed anything. Yes, which means that the one that we got earlier was a fake Daeron.
The one they said was Daeron in the last clip.
Yep.
Okay.
Daeron has officially been cast now, and it's a completely different actor.
So who did they cast? Do we know?
I'm not sure of the name, but yeah, it's you can search for it. It's out there. Okay. But yeah, which means that the whole theory that because Daeron and Daemon never met up on the battlefields in the books, and there's no way in the world he would be kneeling to him, like they saw with those leaks. So, which means that the whole thing's a big setup.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool.
I can't wait to see it, just because it's a train wreck I can't stop watching now, ever since they screwed up a couple major things in season 2. I could have even Black Valerians. I've gotten used to that. Whatever. They never bring up that at all. But I also could, get away with
it's irrelevant to the character. That's the point. It's just a character in a family that happens to be black.
Yeah.
Driftmark is essentially the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm sorry. But I could get through the, dragon coming through the dragon pit, up through and killing all those innocent people, but not taking out the greens. I could get through that. But when you
get
start,
past that, that's literally one of my main points that I can't.
But they made it even worse in the next season, leaving out one of the children, and during the Blood and Cheese, making Blood and Cheese more of like a comic duo. I don't know who that is, but shout out to Mike. I don't know. Is Mike a
good old exposed hog cock?
Great name. Yeah, I don't know, but whatever. Any last thoughts on that? Or can we move on to tonight, where we ask the question? Every fan of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire has been asking for over a decade, when the hell will the book come out? Also, who lives, who dies, and who's forgotten in the Winds of Winter? We'll be covering Jon Snow's fate after betrayal, Daenerys' struggle between savior and destroyer, Arya's path of vengeance, Tyrion's survival in Essos, Stannis' last stand, and of course, the missing characters George hasn't shown us in years. Throughout this stream, I want you to jump into the chat. Let us know what you're thinking about these characters. Let us know if we're missing a character you want to know about. I'll find if there's any fan speculation on them, like Hot Pie. I didn't add Hot Pie. I should have. I just feel like Hot Pie is coming back just for a moment to bring, Arya back to where, her roots. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, he pulls the sword out of his missus and then he saves the day.
He is Azor Ahai. So yeah, drop your theories, your predictions, your wildest ideas in the chat, and we'll speculate together. So let's see. We're going to start with Jon Snow, Beyond Death. Okay. So where did we leave Jon Snow? Jon Snow's stabbing
he's
at
just having
the end.
a nap. Having a nap in the
he's steamy nap. He I don't know if he closed his eyes, but Jon Snow's stabbing at the end of A Dance with Dragons left us all a gasping. We were a gasp at the moment. 3 theories dominated, like his, will he be, will Melisandre resurrect him, warging into Ghost, or returning as something darker like a Lady Stoneheart? One of my
all
favorite,
three.
Yeah. and a quote from that moment, "For the watch," and they stab him. So I'll briefly, which one do you guys feel would be the Melisandre one, the warg into ghost, or like a fire white, which is now becoming a real thing in the fandom after
I
we talk
hope
about it
it's
mostly.
Ghost because it's the one that we haven't seen.
Mhm.
So, and also, it was literally his last words.
Which kind of also, yeah. I mean, we get like that same last words Rob did. Last words were of his direwolf. So I don't think George would have done that for no reason. What up, Mason?
How you guys doing?
We're doing good, buddy. We're talking about characters who are lost, dead, maybe dead, alive, or forgotten by George, coming up in the Winds of Winter. So we're first talking about Jon and some of the fan theories about Jon, Melisandre's magic bringing him back, which I don't know why they separated these two. That's why I put them both, but I feel like they're the same. Warging into ghost, not warging into ghost, that's separate. But Melisandre's magic or fire white, to me, that's the same as Melisandre's, but there's a little bit of a difference, I guess.
Do you think that's why she brought Shireen with her?
Or kept her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because only life can pay for death.
Right. And she's a cursed child, and the wildlings will have no issue with it. And the Queen's
And
men will
King's
have no
blood?
issue. Yeah. I mean, it's true. The wildlings will have no issue with it. They think she's, a curse. Her mother doesn't care, whatever Melisandre says. And they got,
Well, her mother's not with her.
Yeah, no, Lady Celine's there. Celine, is it?
Is she? I thought she was still with Stannis.
Nope.
Okay.
No, the queen and her daughter stayed in the Queen's Tower, right? I think they're in the Queen's Tower or the King's Tower. And Melisandre, everybody else went, except for the Queen's own knights. They're considered, they're really like R'hllor followers. So I'll read the different fan theories, give a little blurb, and we'll talk about them. So Melisandre, like Thoros with Beric, she resurrects Jon, but he may lose part of himself in the process. Some fans believe his leadership qualities or compassion would be diminished, leaving behind a harder, more ruthless Jon. Others argue he could emerge as Azor Ahai reborn, but only at the cost of the Jon Snow we knew. This connects to Gurm's point that Beric was a foreshadowing. Each resurrection leaves the person less whole, a hint that Jon's rebirth would not be clean or painless. Now, the fire white one, he comes back changed, cold, unrecognizable, mirroring more of a Lady Stoneheart. Fans picture Jon, who is technically alive, but more corpse than man. So instead of coming back more like Beric, who still looks like a man, and this is after the 8th or 9th time we finally see him. He's already died. He still looks and acts like a man, just loses part of his memories and stuff. This is more him coming back like a fire white Lady Stoneheart. His heart no longer beating with warmth, but driven by fire magic. Some argue this would make him an echo of Lady Stoneheart, alive only for duty and vengeance, stripped of compassion. Others connected to Gurm's theme that death changes people oh man, I put the word in there because I thought I could
irreversibly.
say it. No,
irrevocably.
Irrevocably.
Yeah, thank you. A fire white Jon might be unable to love, to father children, or to rule with empathy, creating a colder, more terrifying Lord Commander or even a king. And then the final one is warging into Ghost. His last thoughts and words is of Ghost. Many believe Jon's spirit survives in his direwolf. Some fans expand this further, suggesting Jon might remain inside Ghost for an extended time, his human body preserved until a resurrection is possible. Others speculate that his consciousness could blend permanently with the direwolf, making him less a man and more of a wolf in mind and instinct. This raises questions. Would a Jon who lived lives through ghosts still be fit to lead men, or would he become something wilder, more primal than the Lord Commander ever was? So those are the three major theories, fan theories. If you have something different, please put it in the chat. What up? Mike has bad knees. Put it in the chat, guys. My question will be yes or no. Will Jon return as Azor Ahai Reborn or something much darker? I put like a Germ tease in each one of these, and it kind of is already what I talked about. George has said Beric was a foreshadowing case, and every resurrection takes something away. That means Jon, there is, a cost to be resurrected. I'm sorry, you're absolutely right. Or theory 4, he stays dead. That is another theory. So, I'll give Mason a minute to think about that because he just got on. Grant and then Tina. What do you think, Grant?
Yeah, overall, I think it's I'm on the thing that I think that if they go similar to the show route, then he has to lose whatever it was that made him him.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with Beric and everything, he only had small issues, but he was resurrected right away.
Nine. Yeah,
and he still has that. Like Lady Stoneheart lost basically everything. She was floating in the water for 2 days until the direwolf pulled her out, sort of thing. Like, I think
that was Nymeria that pulled her out. Yeah.
And I think ultimately the thing that we're going to get with Jon's character is either he's going to be the worst version of himself, or he's going to be a completely different character. He'll be resurrected as whatever the last hero was, Azor Ahai. Who knows? It could be a different spirit that comes back into the body. The one that we know as Jon Snow is actually dead, and this new version is back. Because I don't see him going any way that the show did.
Right. No. Where they forgot about it after a day.
Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah. Well, or could it be also like he stays in Ghost and another spirit takes his body? That
it could be like that. Like, I mean, I could see him joining Nymeria in the the 20,000 large wolf pack that they've got. Because remember, in the initial storyline, Arya and Jon were in a relationship.
Right.
So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for the dogs to be in a bit of a because also like they say, like with direwolves and the wolves, there is no genetic issue with incest either, because that's a normal pack thing.
And if you want more direwolves, she's the only female left. And even though he took that like relationship out, he did keep their relationship, like how close they are. So
he's kept everything that was in the initial 3 parts in there, but he's just changed certain things. Like Catelyn still dies, but except the difference was she Bran and Arya went above the wall, and that's where Arya was learning her training and everything, and learning to be more magical that way. That's how she became Lady Stoneheart, was up through there. Like, they still kept the same things, the sacking of Winterfell, except instead of being Ramsay and Theon and everything, it was
Lannister.
Tyrion.
It was
Tyrion.
Tyrion. Okay,
it was Tyrion, because Tyrion also, there was also a love triangle between Tyrion, Arya, and Jon, sort of thing.
Well, Jon's a good-looking guy. What are you going to do?
And how Winterfell gets taken back is an attack from the north with Bran, Arya, and wildlings, and from the south it was the direwolf pack.
Right. And I still think he's going to do something like that with the
still think that, like, I mean, they said that it's 10 to 20,000 so far. Like,
by the time that
it's huge. It's a huge.
I thought it was like 100.
No, it's in the thousands. So.
Wow. Oh, I did not know that. But
yeah, it's a gigantic wolf pack that will like.
I think also, let's say that a different spirit, like you said, goes into Jon. Bran or one of the others that warg into their wolves can communicate with Ghost, maybe. Bran most likely could do it while he's in the tree net, in the weirwood net, and figure out that Jon is not back. This is somebody else who took his body. I thought that actually would kind of be cool.
I think if
Um,
it
Oh,
was the Night King and
I-
they used that as their reason that they can get past the wall, that's their
mm,
loophole.
Yeah, because he's a brother of the Night's Watch. What were you gonna say, Tina? Good one, Dad.
what you mentioned about Bran being able to work to identify that that Jon is actually in Ghost and not in his body. I thought that would happen, but with Arya, that there would be a reuniting of Nymeria and Arya, and then
Mhm.
through Nymeria, she would realize, oh my gosh, this is Jon. That is not Jon.
Right. That would be cool. That
Mhm.
that would be interesting.
And then it would bring in, then it would give almost Bran like his number one responsibility first is to get Jon back in his body.
mhm.
And that could go on for an extended period of time in the story. Once again, if we need to delay and wait for Daenerys to get her shit together and get to Westeros.
Right. Oh man. All right. What you have any other ideas before we move on to Mason?
Nope, the fact that he wargs into Ghost, I think, is the most interesting
Mm-hmm.
of them all. And then yeah, having somebody or something take over
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
I like
body. I
that.
like that.
That's cool. All right, Mason, how about you?
Yeah, he's definitely his soul is definitely in Ghost right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the idea that like the Great Other will possess his body. Like that's why they were looking for him in like the prologue.
Right, right. That's an interesting one. I love that.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
with Azor Ahai being Lightbringer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that
so-
being like Lucifer means Lightbringer.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, like a false savior, Jon coming back, and everybody's like looking at it like a sign, and it's actually like the complete opposite.
Right. That's interesting. I like that.
Like what
All
they
right.
did with Lost and John Locke.
Mm-hmm. No, that's yeah, John Locke. You think he's gonna be like this spiritual good guy, and he turns out to be working with like the Black Mist, right? Smoke?
No, it is the Black Mist that overtakes his body when he dies.
Oh,
He comes
shit.
back and masquerades as him.
Okay. That's crazy. All right. Yeah,
But,
the
you mentioned prologue. George did mention that the prologue in the Winter Winter will contain Jeyne Westerling. Didn't say it was from her point of view.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hope
But do you
not.
think? Because if it's from her point of view, then she's dead. But I'm actually thinking it might be Blackfish, and that's going to piss me off if it is.
Ooh. Dude, that
Because
would
he's one of the characters that have just disappeared.
Yep.
But the last time that we saw them is if they deviated from the road, because they're all going to, I think it's Casterly Rock.
They're on their way to that direction. Yes.
Yeah, they're on that way, and I know that Jamie said that they've got a number of archers watching them. If they deviate from the road, they're going to just let loose.
Right. God. Can you imagine? That would suck if we never see the Blackfish. Like, just if they are going to kill him, I hope he goes out in a blaze of glory, like taking 10 guys with him.
Who else is there with them that we could do?
Well,
because George also did state that there are no new POVs. But
Right.
does he include prologue and epilogues
No,
as
No.
that?
I don't think
and
so.
2 and 4 are from a maester's perspective. So 6 would be from a maester's perspective.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
Like
we have
like making sure she's not pregnant or something, like keeping
Yeah,
an
we
eye
have-
on her.
Because that's right, because they're gonna lock her up for 2 years to guarantee that she's not pregnant.
Mm-hmm. And if she is, they're going to use that baby.
Yeah.
Because he would be the heir. If they
Because it
don't
was
crown somebody
her
before
mother that
him.
was hinting that she was given a moon tea.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she took it, because she was in on it, but I don't think she was in on it. Like, she was make him love you, so
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think she knew they were going to off him.
Her parents were ready to betray the Starks, but she wasn't she wasn't aware of that they were going to do that. She thought they were using it to like, get power or something.
Right.
Do
Yeah.
you think that Westerly, the child, or Blackfish will survive?
No, I don't think Blackfish will. I think, but I don't want to say he would go out in the first, in the, what is it called again? Prologue. I don't think he'll go out in the prologue. I want to see him go out in an actual battle. Just like
Do you think
if Stannis or if Selmy, I want them to go out like blaze of glory, like Selmy is in the sample chapters, but he may live. You never know.
Do you think that he'll reunite with Catelyn at all?
Ooh. I mean, she is in the Riverlands and he is somewhere in the Riverlands. So that would be interesting, how she would react to her favorite uncle.
Well, I also think that he would probably kill her. Because he
Like
couldn't,
put her
he
out
wouldn't
of
be
her
able to handle.
right, put her out of her misery.
Because remember, when it comes to the the burials and everything, he's the one that lights the fire. He's the one that fires the arrows and
can make the arrow shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not Edmure's fault. He was never trained.
Right.
Or he's trained as a joke. Well, there you go, Edmure. He's one I don't think is going to survive.
2 points. One, the show did Edmure so bad.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy in the books, and they just made him a doofus in the show.
Yeah, they really
Secondly,
did.
I would be really cool if you have the Blackfish swear loyalty to like a Jon that's like outed as being Rhaegar's son, or Aegon or Daenerys, because there's that theory that he was a Targaryen supporter.
He was I believe he was a Targaryen loyalist. And a lot of people think, oh, he's probably gay, but every match that his brother tried to make for him was to strengthen their, Robert line of succession, not, strengthen some. He wouldn't do that with somebody who's a loyalist. And I think Blackfish was. And if he finds a king or queen that is, if it is Jon, even though he's not blood related, he's known him since he was a baby. I think he would follow him. But Aegon or Daenerys, I think he would, more Aegon than Daenerys, he would take their side. Now that his brother's dead, he thinks his niece is dead. His nephew's most likely going to die.
It's such a shame because he's such a good character that we should be getting POVs from him. Like, I know he's one of those characters that the more and more that I look into it, the more I want to see something awesome from him, because I know there's way more than what's on the surface.
Oh yeah, he's a very interesting character. I definitely believe that too. Yeah, I didn't even bring up Blackfish in this, so that's an interesting one where he could be. I'm pretty sure we know he escapes, and he's like doing like guerrilla warfare, right, on his own, pretty much.
So he was holding River Run, and then when Jaime takes it, they raise up the gates.
Yep.
And he swims out, and he just disappears, and no one knows where he's at.
Yeah, he goes through he gets out, I thought, from a different way, and then they raise him so no one can chase him right away. Like a back door. But maybe that's just the shore or the show.
He takes an underground water passage. I mean, he's a fish after all.
He is a fish.
And him and Varys are mermaids. They're mermaid conspiracy men.
All right. We got a bunch of these guys to go, so we're going to move on to our next one. The next person up is Dany, I believe, if I can get back to where I was. Yeah. So savior or destroyer. Dany's visions and Quaith's prophecies make her an arc one of contradictions. Excuse me. Some fans see her as Westeros's only savior, riding in with fire and dragons to push back the long night. Others fear her arc bends towards fire and blood, with the House of the Undying vision of a throne room covered in ash foreshadowing her as a destroyer. Quaith's riddle, north, south, east, west, light, and shadow, only deepens the mystery, leaving us to ask, is Daenerys the heroine promised or the doom of Westeros itself? And
neither.
And from Dany, A Clash of Kings, to go north, you must go a journey south. To reach the west, you must go east. To go forward, you must go back. And to touch the light, you must pass beneath the shadow. But she's never going to get to Ahai. So what the hell? Last we see Dany, she is in the Dothraki Sea with Drogon. Most likely having her moon blood for the first time in 18 months to 2 years, as long as the story's been going on. And the fire, or I'm sorry, when they try to save her husband, Mary Mazdul, that took it away from her. So she has a Khalasar riding up on her, one of her husband's blood riders who should have took his own life and joined his call into the afterlife. So right there, like I believe we're going to see her be ruthless. And again, we're going to approve of it because, oh, Dany killed him because, you know, he was supposed to die anyways. And he left her stranded in the Red Waste, blah, 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 blah. But I think if she's going to be the destroyer, we are going to see that one time where we can't support her in what she does, even though it's something she has done multiple times before, burning the slavers, crucifying slavers, you know, things like that. So some of the fan theories for Savior. Okay, so we have Savior, Mad Queen, and the prophecy confusion theory. So Savior, she unites the Dothraki and sails west, fighting the others. Some fans imagine her arriving in Westeros just in time to rally the scattered lords against the threat from the north. In this version, or this reading, she becomes the prophesied savior, Azor Ahai reborn, the flame that drives back the darkness. They point to her dragons as the living weapons against the others, and her arc of breaking chains as a symbolic preparation for breaking the long night. The Mad Queen, her fire and blood mantra leads her down a darker road, burning cities and innocents alike. Fans argue that the seeds of this are visible, and even in Essos, where she threatens to crucify slavers, which I believe she does, burns men alive and embraces fire as justice. Some think the House of the Undying vision of a throne room covered in ash, again, is not symbolic, but literal, foreshadowing Dany leaving King's Landing in ruins. Gurm has said that prophecy is often misinterpreted, but that does not rule out a darker end. In this reading, she becomes less a liberator and more a conqueror, consumed by fire and destiny. And then the one I labeled prophecy confusion. The House of the Undying shows visions of ash on the Iron Throne. Some see that as her future, others as a warning. Fans debate whether the snow in the vision is literal, representing the long night, or metaphorical, symbolizing her isolation and ruin. Others argue that the ashes are not Dany's doing at all, but a glimpse of Westeros' fate, regardless of her choices. Gurm has once again said prophecies are tricky, often misleading, and he has encouraged readers not to take visions at face value, adding even more layers of uncertainty. So we do get a hint from George in an interview that Dany's visions definitely are often misinterpreted by people, leaving her arc deliberately uncertain. In a 2012 interview, he noted that readers should be careful with prophecy because it can easily mislead. He emphasizes that Dany's visions, especially House of Undying, are meant to be symbolic, not straightforward roadmaps, but also it could be what do you call that?
Self-fulfilling.
Self-fulfilling, reinforcing the ideas that her arc is intentionally layered with ambiguity. So for the chat, type if you think she's going to be a savior, type if you think she's going to be a destroyer. Let us know. What's up, Miss J Reviews?
There's also another option.
Okay.
That her whole arc is a Shaggy Dog story.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, because I don't think the Shaggy Dog in Rickon, and we're going to talk about that later, is a Shaggy Dog. But okay.
No, I don't think so as well. I think Rickon's going to be way more important than then then everyone seems to think. I don't think he's gonna get Ramsay.
He's gonna zigzag.
He's gonna.
He's not gonna straight line. But what were
But yeah,
you?
like I mean, they say like Tyrion says about prophecies is the mule that kicks you in the mouth. Like it's prophecies are just an idea, and people that believe in the prophecies believe it's always about them. They never look at it and go, "Oh, actually, this is about my wife." Oh wait, Daemon did that after being poisoned for 5 episodes. Never mind. But like that's the whole thing. Like it's her arc unless half the book is her story. I can't see her changing all that much. Like we're supposed to believe that she's going to go on this big crazy arc and start to burn people and everything when she still has 2 of her dragons locked up because they did that.
Yeah, you have a valid point, man. Like, how many POVs can she get in the Winds of Winter? 6? If he's pushing it, maybe 7, 8. Like, that's a lot. And you would have to do a lot. We're gonna have to even see like things off script, like Selmy being like another Selmy chapter where he's like, I can't believe she just did that.
Well, I mean, I think the Selmy was never supposed to be a PV character. It was his way of trying to tie up untie the knot that he did. So I'm like, well, where's he going to go? So let's just say, for instance, we're going to have at least 2 of her perspective in the with the Khalasars and everything, because you can't do all that and wrap it up in one. Right. So like, and then because there's no one else that could be a POV character because as George said, there are no new POV characters in this.
Right.
So like, I don't understand where she's going to go from this unless this whole story of hers is a grey, a shaggy dog. It's, it's a red herring sort of thing. Like maybe she never was the one that was supposed to do it. I mean, that'll piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But like, what George is like when it comes to he's got a little bit of a petty streak in him when it comes to his writing.
He likes to troll.
He does, and the fact that he's already got Tyrion stuff finished also makes me go, "Oh, I wonder if he's gonna do a death fake out early on, and then he'll come back later on in the next book."
Right. Like end with us thinking he's dead.
Like no, I'm not. I'm saying not, and I'm saying like maybe a third of the way through or something.
Okay.
Yeah, something happens, and we're like, "Oh God, he's dead."
Yeah. I mean, all the characters that are left, like, and we'll be talking about them, like, they can't all survive, and one of the 2 big ones, Dany or Jon, can't make it to the end, like, because they're like the 2 biggest. They're 1A and 1B, Azor Ahai, maybe people.
But the dragon has 3 heads.
I get that. But like what I'm saying is most people believe it's Dany or Jon. So I think that's kind of what George wanted people to focus on. He may kill them both off.
I do. Like if it turns out that okay, I don't know if you've noticed this about his writing. Whoever you seem to think is the hero and you're rooting for, they don't make it to the next thing. I think the only reason why we think Jon's coming back was because the show deviated so much from what happened. And we've been waiting 15 years.
Right.
So,
what do you say, Tina?
Is there any way that, like, young Griff, Jon, and Daenerys could come together similar to Aegon and his sister wives, except they swap it, that it's one queen and 2
sister
brothers?
husbands.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got, I mean, because, what do you think, Mason?
So I think if that were to happen, it would be Dany proposing it, and then it would end up falling apart because Jon would be like, that's nasty, that's my family members. And then young Griff
she's also currently married.
That'll get resolved soon. then young Griff would probably like, I don't know, maybe he'd be like prideful and be like, yeah, this isn't working. I should be like the number one king. So
Right.
Do you really see young Griff being like that though? The way in which he's been brought up and everything.
he's
I could see
been brought up
Dany saying
humbly,
that.
but he still is prideful. Like when he loses the Syvas game, he just like swipes the board.
Yeah, he flips it. Yeah. And then comes back and apologizes. But you already see that
Yeah.
the first reaction was something, outrageous. And then he comes back and apologizes. Is that one of George's little things, Mason, where he shows us that he's going to make a big mistake, but will he be able to come back and apologize?
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
call that prideful. Prideful would be not apologizing.
I get that. He's more of a sore sport.
Yeah, maybe like
he's
wrathful.
reactionary.
Yeah.
Reactionary is a good one. Yeah. Go on, Mason.
I could see a situation like that where like Daenerys is the savior, but she does something like maybe young Griff is doing something really bad and she stops him, and then everybody looks at her and thinks that she's mad and like this big, like the big evil or whatever. And so it ends up like where everybody thinks that she's gone mad, but she's really saving everybody. I think that'd be interesting.
I think we may get the mistaken mad. Like everyone, like you said, everyone thinks she went mad, but she actually, it wasn't her. It was wildfire, like Grant has brought up before. Or she she just attacks the Red Keep, but something causes the flames to jump and it kills innocent people, and people don't forgive her for that, But I don't know. She's had a really rough life, and everything can't come up roses for her. And that's just not George's way. Like it can't keep working out well for her, even though she has some struggles. She keeps overcoming those struggles. At some point, I think those struggles are going to become too much for her.
And also, if they do say that there's going to be a big wedding ceremony, someone's definitely going to die.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to die.
Everybody dies at weddings. What's up, brother? Yeah.
3 deaths at a wedding, at a Dothraki wedding, is a dull affair.
Yeah. Kirsty Angel says Romeo and Juliet. So John and Dany are star-crossed lovers that die.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet and Dan.
It would make more sense if it was I don't know, someone like Robert and Daenerys as a Romeo and Juliet, because they're from warring families,
Well, in her mind, Starks are warring. So like if she doesn't find out that he's related to her and he's a Stark,
if he even is, we don't.
Well, right.
We're still just assuming,
right?
Because even with the TV series, it literally went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was a reveal for the sake of a reveal, which the more and more I think about it, makes me think that it wasn't something that was initially planned.
Right.
It kind of fits Rhaegar and Lyanna better, because
Rhaegar, that's the Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. All right. Any last thoughts on Jon Snow?
We're talking about
Dany. My bad. Anything left with Dany?
Yeah. What if George just like, oh, I'm just gonna write her off. Just doesn't write her anymore.
Well, can I?
That's what I mean. If he does do that, like if she's not in the last book, if Winter is her last book, man, people are gonna go ape shit for that last one, and I think it's actually gonna sell better.
Yeah. You never know. What were you going to say?
Dragon just flock to Stannis.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Can we assume that the blood that she has at the end of the last book is that she is no longer barren or was never barren?
Yeah, I would assume she's no longer.
That's how we took at it.
Yeah, that's how we saw it. Yep. Yeah, the way
I wasn't sure if they were going to carry that forward.
Oh, that's a big deal, which is weird because she's supposed to there's supposed to be like a lot of things she conquers before that happens. You know, the northeast, southwest, whatever stuff.
Mhm.
But again, prophecy and riddles, she may have done that and we didn't even realize it. You know, all the different directions she's gone, she must have accomplished some things. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But what about the King in the Snow, Stannis Baratheon? So we know that he's still alive because in the Winds of Winter, because Theon 1 sample chapter tells us that if it stays the same, Stannis still fighting on, gathering northern lords and preparing for the Battle of Ice. So, some fans see this as his last great chance to prove himself the true king, a brilliant strategist who might actually defeat the Boltons and claim Winterfell. Others argue his story is already written in tragedy, that even if he wins, his rigid sense of duty and reliance on Melisandre will ultimately be his undoing. There's also a strand of theory that Stannis is a false Azor Ahai, a deliberate red herring placed by Gurm to highlight how prophecies can mislead. Will Stannis be remembered as the king who never broke, or as the last fire in a snowstorm that swallowed him whole? Yeah,
Well, we know from Melisandre's chapters that she truly believes that he's the Sorrow. So I don't think he's a false flag, because if it was, she'd be the person that would know he's not the one, and she truly believes that he is.
mm-hmm.
So I don't see that. Like, if it turns out that he was not, like, the whole thing was a false thing, who could it be from? Because Melisandre was the one that was doing it, and in all of her chapters, she wholeheartedly believes that he is.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
no doubt in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm not sure.
Right. Brian says, what if Gurm decides to keep Dany in Essos and forms a new Targaryen empire there?
Well,
I mean,
she's never really been to Westeros.
Right. It's not, maybe she realizes, maybe she touches down in Westeros stays for a while and realizes
stinks.
This ain't my thing. You know, like these aren't my people. So a quote. Yeah. So we know that the sample chapter confirms he's alive. Stannis declares in that chapter, I am the rightful king and I will not yield. His insistence on being Azor Ahai reborn is echoed by Melisandre, though fans and maesters alike question whether his Lightbringer is genuine or just a glamour. It's a glamour. I mean, we know that from the question that Maester Aemon asked Sam, I think it was Sam or John, one of the two, about did you feel heat from it? You know, so it's most likely a glamour. So,
for now, until Shireen gets burnt, and then he can't handle that, so he goes over and stabs her to put her out of her misery. And then when he pulls the sword out of her, it doesn't stop being on fire.
That could be it. Or because she's killed, he stabs Melisandre and pulls out her flame. What were you going to say, Mason?
I think that Stannis killing Shireen would be how he makes Lightbringer if he was going to. Because I don't think he has feelings strong enough for his wife.
Right. Definitely not his wife. It would have to be Melisandre or, you know. What's up, Stig?
Hi.
What's going on? We're just talking about you, Stannis the Manus.
Oh, thank you. I just woke up 20 minutes ago.
What is it, like 2:30 or 3?
Yeah, I've been getting up really early,
and
then, well, today I just fell asleep and for like 12 hours or something, catching up sleep, and then it's.
Are you in perpetual darkness or perpetual light now?
No, with the sun comes up at around 7 and sets at around 8 in the evening. So
you're, yeah, it's not as what it was in the middle of summer.
And yeah, in the middle of the summer, that's daylight 24/7.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got to experience that at some point. So we were talking.
It's easy. Just go outside when it's daylight and pretend it's night.
Yeah. True.
Not that hard.
Just put on like blinders.
This is
So
why you're the menace.
we've been going over a couple. We went over Dany and Jon. Now we're going over Stannis, and we're just talking about characters, where they're going to be, if they're going to be in the Winds of Winter, and what may happen.
What you can do is have a look at which of the gods that die in Ragnarok, because it's obviously heavily inspired by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Who's Stannis in of the
Forseti, god of justice, but he's not mentioned in the Ragnarok mythos. He's mentioned in all kinds of other, so he's probably not going to make it to the final battle.
But shut your whole mouth.
Yeah, I know.
You bastard.
And Fenris is going to swallow a god named Frey. So Walder Frey.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Frey
Will he
is
be in a
also
pie?
What?
Will he be in a pie when he swallows him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Frey is also the god of virility, right?
That's true.
And look at Walder Frey. He's over 100 years old or something, and he's still making babies.
Still smashing it.
So
gotta love that guy.
You can see what it's based on.
It is. We're gonna have to update our episode, and I'll do a lot of research before it, and we'll so it's already there, and you'll just have to fill in some of the blanks. You'll have to let me know when you could definitely make it, and I'll put it together, because 100% it'll be good. So the fan theories, we've been doing like 3 for the main characters. So for Stannis, fan theories are he's going to be triumphant, there's going to be a tragedy, or and the Lightbringer pretender one. So we'll go with the positive first.
Well, I think he's gonna. I think he'll win at Winterfell, but maybe treachery or something will do him in, because I do think Shireen is going to get burned.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is the one who burns her, because he's too far away.
Right.
I think Melisandre burns her, and I'm thinking she's going to burn Shireen to raise Jon.
Right.
So, because that would mirror the, Miriam Masdor and Daenerys.
Yep. Life pays for death.
Yeah.
Or death pays for life. Excuse me.
Maybe that's what breaks him. Shireen being burned and stuff.
Yeah, it could.
Because, if he loses at Winterfell, he's dead. Right?
Yeah.
If he wins at Winterfell, why the hell would he then leave Winterfell, go up to the wall, and burn Shireen?
Right. It's just stupid. Even if they bring her down, it's stupid.
Yeah, they could bring her down, but through that storm, though.
Yeah, the snow's way too deep now.
Yeah, I'm thinking Melisandre burns her. And that's,
I think you're right. So
and there would be no reason to bring her down until Winterfell was won back, because the battlefield is no place for women and children.
I'm glad you said
there's
it.
No logical reason to have them there.
That was completely tardondo in the show.
Yes.
When we're going to war to defeat a house that skins their enemies alive.
Right.
Let's bring the whole family, so that if you lose, the whole bloodline's dead.
Right. You bring them with you to the general area, but you don't bring them to the battle. That's common sense.
Yeah. And, the greatest military commander in the decided to put the supplies at the edge of camp. Yeah.
All right, real quick, 2 members notes up here. Brian McCann, member for 24 months. Thank you, Brian. Brian says 2 years of this shit, probably. Bring on the deep ones. Okay, I'm writing that down. I will do a deep ones episode, or at least a video, because you have been asking for that for so long. And then we also have the great Mr. Grant Gregory for 39 months. Holy cow. And he says, justice for Shireen. Dany is a shaggy dog. Stannis actually is Azor Ahai. Nymeria sacks Winterfell. Blackfish becomes king. Married young Griff. Oh yeah, that would work because he is a loyalist and maybe gay.
I also think Blackfish will marry young Griff.
It could happen. Could happen. All right. So
He
the triumph.
nicknamed him Young Stiff.
Yeah, Stiff and Fish. That's their.
That's the meal Hot Pie makes for them at the at the crossroads.
At the royal wedding, yeah.
Or right.
On the royal wedding. Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
So fan theories, triumph. He
also
wins.
got another membership.
Oh, and Tina Bojans. We call her Bad Takes. That is for 54 freaking months. Holy crap. And I'm still only at like 5,000 something, but that's okay. Subscribe if you're new here. Got to join the member post party. Well, thank you very much. 59 months or 54.
I have
That's crazy.
never done anything like that or managed to send a super chat.
Yeah.
But I was such a boomer that only Culture Casino, I think, has gotten a super chat from me because PayPal Teresa $10 and told her to use that $10 in the super chat to Culture Casino and say it was for me.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh man, he has another feather for his cap. That's great. So
it's
we're
not
going.
that I'm greedy. It's just that I can't work the damn thing out with a
respect that, dude. I'd rather have you on than a super chat from you. So,
thank you, dog.
Of course. So we're going to talk about your triumph. He wins the Battle of Ice with Northern support, outmaneuvering the Boltons. Some fans envision a detailed scenario where Stannis lures the Boltons into overextending, using the frozen lake and the loyalty of houses like the Manderleys to trap them. They argue that his rigid discipline and tactical genius could give him one last great victory, allowing him to seize Winterfell and prove, however briefly, that he was the king who fought hardest for the realm. The tragedy.
Well, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a problem. When someone gets cocky in these books, George Martin punishes them severely.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Stannis, I think it was in book 5 or in the sample chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Just goes, who is this Roose Bolton? And he goes, I defeated. I had 20,000 men and defeated 100,000 at the wall or something. Kind of boasts about that.
Yeah.
There's a red flag.
Right there.
Yeah, you're underestimating someone, and that's never a good thing.
Yeah, I think that may be in the sample chapter. He's talking about Ramsay.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, he brings up Ramsay. Who's this Ramsay? Yeah. Yep.
So he might defeat Ramsay, but I'm not sure if he's going to beat Roose.
Right.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. How do you defeat a vampire though?
Yeah. A steak. Garlic. I don't know.
Stig's here.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I deal with them all the time. I mean, it's in the winter, there's hardly any sunlight, so it's El Dorado for vampires up there.
Hell yeah.
It's a menace.
Yeah.
Buffy's got nothing on me.
Hell no. Oh, Buffy. All right, I'm going to read the tragedy and then Light Pretender, and we'll see which 3 you guys agree with. So, tragedy. He dies.
Brian McCann is saying that he's asking if House Cod is inbred with mermen.
Is not.
I think so. And one of them is the Cod father of the merman child.
Yeah, the Cod father. I like that. My boy. Tragedy. He dies fighting, remembered only as the king who would not bend. Some fans picture him falling at Winterfell or in the snow beyond. His rigid honor, refusing compromise until the end. In this reading, this version, Stannis becomes a cautionary tale. A man who believed he was Azor Ahai reborn, yet carried only a false sword in a doomed destiny. Quotes like his unyielding claim, I am the rightful king, and I will not yield, show how his refusal to bend may define his legacy, even in death. Then you have the Lightbringer Pretender, which is kind of goes with that one. Some argue Stannis is a false Azor Ahai, which we all pretty much know.
He is. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: there's hints that Stannis knows this.
Right. He's just playing along.
Yeah, he's playing along because it benefits his chances to win the throne.
Yeah.
But here's another thing: Stannis was the only one that selflessly went to the wall.
Yes.
He put aside the battle for the throne and went to the wall and saved the realm. And I think it was basically Davos or Stannis basically did the JFK quote that you should do for the kingdom instead of thinking the kingdom should do for you. Right. So Stannis might have changed. There might have been a character development there. Yeah,
that's cool, man. I like that. Mad just wants to invite you, Grant. Just you.
They are explorers of my country, so
yeah, that's true. So the false Azor Ahai is probably most likely a deliberate red herring that is obvious. They point to his sword, Lightbringer, which we were talking about in A Clash of Kings, is described by Master Aemon as a mere glamour, lacking heat or true magic. In this view, Stannis is a narrative device, an echo, a prophecy meant to show how easy it is to misread signs. Fans debate whether his failure is meant to contrast with the real Azor Ahai rise, or simply to underline George's theme that prophecy is dangerous when taken too lightly. So George's tease on this: Martin has called Stannis a hard man to love, but fascinating to write. In another interview, he notes that Stannis embodies the conflict between rigid duty and personal cost, a theme central to the series. This suggests his arc will be sharp, consequential, and bitter, with George deliberately positioning him as both admirable in resolve and tragic in humanity. So, I'll put this in myself. So what do you guys think? I mean, Stig has said what mostly we probably all think, but Mason, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'm like 95% certain that he's going to win the Battle of Ice. I don't know if he will like take Winterfell, or maybe he takes Winterfell, but Roose Bolton and the Freys escape. But I don't know how much further than that he goes.
I don't know if the Freys will escape, because didn't he send them and the Manderleys out?
He sent some of the Freys and Manderleys.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I wonder if like that would be when the Manderleys turn cloak and go to Stannis, or if they do like take the sword back and then take over Winterfell for him. So I think he'll get one of the Boltons, but not both.
Okay. I hope
I do wonder about the Shireen thing, because in the book, The Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon, George specifically says, I told them who was going to sit on the Iron Throne at the end. I told them Stannis was going to burn Shireen, and I told them about Hodor hold the door. Like, that's an exact quote. So I wonder if he did he's like kind of just forgotten about it and like, it's not really important. Somebody else can burn Shireen.
He also said that Hodor won't hold the door.
Well, he said that.
It's more of a hold the line, you shall not pass sort of scenario versus physically holding a door.
Yeah. He's gonna like hold the pass and like wield the sword and kill a bunch of whites or something.
Oh, geez. Mason, God. All right. Anything you guys want to add, Tina or Matt? Mr. Grant Gregory. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I think you guys are all wrong. I think the red herring is the fact that there's a red herring about him.
Right. It's so obvious.
I think he's actually Azor Ahai.
That would be awesome.
You know what else though? If it's a cautionary tale again, about prophecy and all that stuff. Maybe a lot of other prophecies are the same, like the one with Cersei, where someone's supposed to, a second son or whatever it
Yeah,
is, supposed to kill her. Maybe.
Valaquar or whatever.
Yeah, and she's gone through life thinking that's going to happen, and it's affected everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's bullshit. But here's another thing.
Wait, you're
Stannis,
telling me Maggie the Frog lied to her?
I think so.
She didn't like her.
So. But I guess she's a quack. But
Right.
Anyway, the Stannis in the sample chapter, his man is suggesting he burn some people to sacrifice them to Azor Ahai.
Yeah, right.
Or to the Lord of Light.
Yeah.
Stannis says no.
Right.
He just tells the people to pray harder because he's not burning a single man. That's because Stannis has never burned anyone that hasn't done anything to him.
Right.
He's burned traitors. That's it.
Yep. And he burned like the statues of the seven.
So it's like the further he gets away from Melisandre, the more the old Stannis becomes.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah. That's true. I didn't think about that. That's an interesting one. I like that.
So she's not around. He can be the true hero that he needs to be.
Right. Well, he could also, you know what, like you said, it would be crazy if he is Azor Ahai, but he never actually gets crowned in the Red Keep or in the in the set.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna be king. I think he's gonna be Azor Ahai.
Yeah.
I think all the prophecy and everything like that, and I don't know if it's some sort of weird thing that it's his bloodline somewhere down the line somehow. Not that I think if they do the whole brand thing that Shireen would be there, but I don't know how else it could be, but I just don't. Yeah, I think he is based on Melisandre's devout belief. We know that she truly believes it, and it's not a red herring. Though I think the sword is a glamour. I think it's designed to make him believe it, and when he believes it, it's when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though the whole story with Nissa and everything like that, she had to willingly accept it for it to work.
Right. Tina?
Could it be possible that Daenerys has a son at some point, and that son is betrothed to Shireen? And that could be the whole respecting Stannis for, his role in, saving the living over the dead.
Right. And I always wondered that too, if Aegon or Dany gets crowned, will he still say it's his birthright? Because, his brother usurped them, so he was the next in line for the king, to be king. But now you have a Targaryen back. Can he then, like you say, that, okay, I can tell myself that this is the just thing, and by marrying his daughter, that could be a way out.
He's still about the 8th or 9th down the succession line anyway, based on his heritage.
Right. Not even that far, I don't think.
In the show, right, they combined Jon Snow, Aegon, and Stannis after season after season 4, really. Right? So maybe Stannis is the one that warns Daenerys about what's coming in the north.
He's there. He's facing it.
He's the one doing the Winterfell battle. It's not Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also the one who kind of freed the north. That wasn't Jon Snow either in the books.
Right.
So maybe Stannis develops and actually starts serving Daenerys
as king of the north,
military commander. I don't know.
Hand of the queen.
Yeah, he could end up getting sent to the wall, and becoming Lord Commander and serving the realm that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he gets guilt ridden over Shireen's death, and then he loses a battle and gets sent to the wall.
Yeah.
I don't think Daenerys will send him to the wall, though. I think she'll
Yeah, I
fly.
don't think. Yeah.
Another thing is, after the Shadow Baby thing, Stannis has been half dead.
Right.
Because he's all thin and,
After the shadow babies. Because there was 2 in the books.
Yeah.
Not just 1, there was 2.
Yeah, always 2 there are.
Yep.
Like
So-
the North is set up for a civil war, basically.
Mhm.
You're gonna have Jon Snow. You're gonna have Stannis with Rickon. You're gonna have fake Arya. You're gonna have Sansa from the south. You might have Lady Stoneheart and Jeyne Westerling with Rob Jr.
Yeah. And Lady Stoneheart does have Rob's crown.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people.
That'll be like Catelyn to give it to a baby over Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Even though the letter says that, she's just like, no.
Right.
Yeah, and isn't Rickon like in Skagos or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Possibly having done cannibalism by now.
Yeah.
God, I hope so. I just want him to come back and just be in the battlefield, just this little 7-year-old just jumping on people,
He's gonna be like
jumping on
4 and
people's
a
necks
half.
and chewing it. Yeah, well, I mean, he's 7 in Skagosi years. It ages you up fighting unicorns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Piled his teeth too, and it's completely feral.
I would like to see after the battle of the Battle of Ice, Blood, Fire, Steel, like those battles that are already being set up. Like in the middle of the book, he jumps 5 years. And then we get a Rickon that's a little bit older and ready to bust some caps. That'd be fun.
I don't think he has time to jump 5 years at this point, because final battle is approaching fast.
Yeah.
I think if you wanted to do a 5-year jump,
right,
it would have been after book 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's when he was going to do it.
Or he should have done it really after book 1, because that set you up to be like, where are the kids now after their dad died?
I think the point of it was supposed to show how far they came with their training. So, like, Arya had spent 5 years with the Faceless Man. Bran spent 5 years with Blood Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Rob's
think that was
5 years as a king. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. We got to move on because we got a few more to go with. So the next is Arya. In the Mercy sample chapter, Arya assassinates Ralph, or Mercy assassinates Ralph, crossing another name off her list with cold precision. But her future is uncertain. Will she return to Westeros as the most dangerous killer, wielding her faceless training to settle old scores, or will she lose herself completely to the faceless men, her Stark identity consumed by the creed of becoming no one? Some fans believe she will walk the fine line between the two, using her deadly skills while clinging fiercely to her wolf's name, embodying the paradox of Arya Stark, the girl who is both assassin and daughter of Winterfell. So from the Mercy chapter, mercy, 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 she sang as she skipped across the stage. But inside, she was Arya of House Stark. Mercy was only a mask she wore, a name to hide her true self. So I'll give you the 3 theories and then we'll talk about it. Theory 1, faceless assassin. Arya returns home to kill those on her list, but deadlier than ever. Fans picture her crossing Westeros with cold precision. Like I said, you see it in the Mercy chapter. She could strike at names like Cersei or even Sir Meryn Trent, Trent's killer, showing no hesitation. Some theorize even suggest her faceless training might allow her to infiltrate the Red Keep itself. Despite her disguises, quotes like Mercy was only a mask she wore, inside she was Arya, proves that Arya's core identity remains intact, guiding her vengeance and making her one of the most dangerous characters left in the saga. Lost identity. She truly becomes no one, and Arya Stark is lost forever. Some readers fear that the longer Arya trains in Braavos, the more her wolf identity erodes, leaving behind only a tool of the Faceless Men. In this interpretation, quotes about Mercy being a mask are seen as temporary, with the eventual endgame being Arya's complete surrender to the Creed. This theory warns that her Stark blood and northern roots could be swallowed by the Faceless Order, transforming her from a character we know into nameless killer without ties or mercy. And then a hero's return. She uses her faceless skills, but never forgot who she is, embodying a wolf with many faces. Fans believe this is the balance Arya has been walking since the start. She can adopt many identities, strike with deadly precision, but in her heart, she remains a Stark of Winterfell. Quotes from the Mercy chapter underline this. Mercy was the mask. Inside, she was Arya of House Stark. In the reading, Arya comes back to Westeros, not as no one, but as someone stronger, a wolf who has mastered many faces, yet still knows her true name.
Well, didn't Syrio first start teaching her balance?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that'll...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when she had to chase the cats.
Oh, so not just physical, but mental?
Yeah, I think so.
Foreshadowing, maybe.
Mhm.
Also, there's a bit of a weird disconnect to it because the Faceless Men, they don't completely lose who they were, everything. Because remember, one of their main rules is you can't kill someone that you know.
Yeah, that's
so you have.
that.
So
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. I don't think the Faceless Men ever get completely identity lost or anything like that. When they say you become no one, I think that's your ability to blend, not genuinely you have no more ties. Because if you've got no more ties, then why would it be important for you not to kill someone that you know? That's part of your history. That's ties. Yeah, so I don't see that ever being an option because I don't even think with Jaqen or anything like that we've seen any of that. We haven't seen that someone's completely lost to them.
Right. Yeah. Like the idea that they can forget their identity. Maybe if someone lives a very long life and takes on, because if you're able to do the replacing of the face, like actually taking your face off, putting on somebody else's, you do get their memories, their feelings, and maybe it gets jumbled, but losing your core identity altogether, it would take way longer than what Arya is doing in her training.
But she also has an advantage when it comes to that balance because she's already doing that. She's already doing a multiple thing with Nymeria.
Right. That and she has played different characters before she even became a Faceless Man. You know, she was a boy for a while.
She was a boy.
Yeah.
Another thing, she keeps her little kill list thing.
Yep. And needle
to the real Arya.
Yep.
It's almost like she's chanting a little mantra to keep from getting fully indoctrinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing where the show went really stupid because Arya's list got shorter as characters on the list got killed without her knowing they were dead.
Right. She
basically knew what the audience knew. How the heck?
That's kind of weird.
Right after Tywin died, that he was dead, right?
Oh yeah, the Faceless Men are actually producers on the show, so that helped out a lot with that. So
yeah, she's not.
No, that's the Brainless Men.
Yeah, there you go. Don't forget, she's not like Dany. She didn't forget about the Iron Fleet. So, what is anything Tina or Mason on this one? Because for me, I don't care about Arya that much.
Well, how can Arya not have a huge part of the finale of the book if she was part of the original trilogy?
Mm-hmm.
Or not trilogy.
The
trio.
Love triangle.
Love triangle.
Yeah, that makes sense. She has to be in it. Well, Gurm says Martin once remarked that Arya's chapters are the hardest but most rewarding to write, showing he sees her as a pivotal and complex. In 2011 interview, he elaborated that Arya's arc is difficult because of her young age, the darkness of her journey, and the challenge of keeping her voice authentic. This underlines, I think, just how central she is to the saga. George pours extra care into Arya because her fate and choices may ripple through the Endgame series. You know, anything she does, I mean, she killed somebody on her list. That was an envoy from Westeros of the Lannisters. So, like, you know,
she doesn't have anyone not important on her list. That's the thing.
Right.
She does have one important character that she's associated with in Westeros, though.
Mhm.
Apart from
The Hound.
but Lady Stoneheart.
Oh
Because
yeah.
Arya warged into a wolf and dragged her out of the river.
Yep.
So there's a link there.
Yep. Yeah.
Was she walked in at the time? I thought that was just Nymeria that did
No.
that.
That was during one of her dreams. Yeah, her wolf dreams.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
She ran away when she heard men or smelled men.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
if she's heading to kill prey or something, Stoneheart's in the area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. I would love to see them run into each other. Will she put her mother out of her misery?
Yeah, because
Oh, I just hope she bites her face just a bit.
I can't see Sansa running into her, and I
Yeah.
don't think Jon.
Mhm.
If Jon meets her, I think it's to take the fire that Martin specified. Beric's fire got passed over to Stoneheart.
Right.
So sword into a Stoneheart with fire, right? And you get the real burning sword, like Nissa.
Right.
So I'm thinking she might be carrying the Nissa fire for whoever Azor Ahai is, which is
Mhm.
probably, I'm thinking it's
Which
Jon.
is Stannis, which we've already established as canon. So
I mean, you could have Brienne kill her with Oathbringer.
Mhm.
That would mirror Jaime killing King Ares.
Yeah.
And that would be like, her understanding like why he had to break his oath.
Mhm. That's a good one too.
I like
Yeah, and that with Ned's sword, technically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Oathbringer, though, it could be if that is the sword that will save the world, right?
Mhm.
So it's like a physical night watch oath in a sword shape, right?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Dude. Yeah, I don't care what happens to Arya personally. I just
More if
yeah,
you
I
have
feel like
more or
I feel
less
like
regard.
did this show ruin the character for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I did enjoy a lot of with Sansa's. I liked a lot of Sansa's chapters until I watched the TV series, and I just it changes my perception of the character, even though I know they are two different characters.
Mhm.
I just and I think Sansa's had some of the best chapters. I just don't really want to watch them anymore.
Right.
Yeah, Arya actress got a bit full of herself too.
Yeah. Yeah, and
But,
Sansa.
yeah, towards the end, they kind of retroactively made her a Mary Sue.
Oh hell yes!
Mhm.
Like she was.
I mean, she got
She
stabbed
earns her
like
way
50
through to like
times.
season 5, and then she just becomes completely invincible.
Okay,
Stabbed.
she got stabbed in the
37
stomach
times in the chest.
and landed in sewage. How was that going? I mean, that's obviously clean
No
dust.
problem.
It was water.
Just
Yeah.
take a little potion and sleep it off. It's like
Yeah, and she also learned the faceless man skills by simply just watching someone else remove his face. Nobody actually taught her anything how to do it. She just
Who
saw.
Arya?
Yeah.
Well, she goes through the surgery to take her face off. So I mean, someone had to tell her. But
Not in the show.
No, in the show.
Right.
Remember,
right.
her
I'm
face
sorry.
gets removed before
Yep.
any of that.
You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just she just watched someone do it, and that means she can do it too, according to
Mhm.
yeah, she was blind for like an episode and got beaten up until she was like, I can fight now.
Yeah, that sorry, you missed it when Matt Murdock came to town and taught her how to fight like Daredevil. So
And then she also held her own against Brienne, who was another one that could turn into a Mary Sue. And she teleported onto a battlefield and killed Stannis. And
technically, it was off the battlefield. It just happened to be in the trees that he fled to.
Yeah. Didn't you see the
And then
bat
did the
signal
honorable
candle
thing
get
of
lit?
striking a man down without a sword.
Yeah.
That signal. That's awesome.
And then everyone at the wall were fine with it when she said, "Yeah, I've just killed the king. You know, the guy who just saved your lives a few weeks ago." And everyone just, "Oh, okay."
Just like how Davos is fine with Tyrion.
Mhm.
You know, the guy that blew up his sons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's oh my god. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Let us add. Let's move on to Tyrion, because that's a little bit better. Now with the second sons, Tyrion may rise as Aegon's hand. That I kind of someone wrote, and I was like, how? But maybe we'll find out. Or
Oh, I was Don Connington, I'd be pissed.
right. Well, he is dying of grayscale.
That's
Or
true,
fall
that's true.
or
Has
fall.
he tried taking it off? I hear that's effective.
You gotta have a maester peel it. Only one knows. Or will he fall to the being consumed by hate? Some fans see him as poised to manipulate young Griff with the same cunning he once yielded in King's Landing. Others warn that his bitterness over Tywin and Cersei could blind him, pushing him towards self-destruction. There is also the Dragon Rider theory, that Tyrion's fascination with dragons and A Dance with Dragons and the hints that he may have Targaryen blood fuel that speculation. So a little quote from Tyrion from A Dance with Dragons, Second Sons. He says, or wait a minute, I'm sorry. Tyrion joined the Second Sons. Gurm has said in interviews, Tyrion is the easiest and most fun to write, my favorite character, which suggests his arc maybe one of the richer ones, and but also maybe the most devastating. So, Hand of Aegon. Somehow he gets back to Aegon. That part I don't remember if they really said it. There may be like an exchange, but anyways, like the Second Sons go there and they move over to Aegon, but he becomes the cunning mind behind young Griff's conquests. Fans picture Tyrion advising the Boy King with the same political genius he once displayed in King's Landing, shaping campaigns with the Golden Company and plotting how to take King's Landing. They point to his sharp exchange with Illyrio and Griff in A Dance with Dragon as evidence he is already testing Aegon, which we saw, probing his weaknesses and strengths. In this role, Tyrion could rise again as a hand, echoing his old position, but a grander stage, possibly engineering a short-lived Targaryen restoration, or consumed by his bitterness over his dad and sister. It blinds him, leading to his downfall in A Dance with Dragons. Tyrion broods on his killing his father and sister, telling himself, someday I'll have my revenge, but it will not be quick. Fans, about his sister mostly, fans see this as foreshadowing that his hatred could drive him into reckless decisions, perhaps even betrayal. Others point to his descent into self-loathing during his voyage down the Rhinar as a warning that he may become his own worst enemy, unable to rise above the vengeance. And the Dragon Rider one that a lot of people like. Tyrion bonds with a dragon, possibly fulfilling a hidden Targaryen bloodline. Fans point to his obsessive interest in dragons, where he studies histories and questions about their care as a foreshadowing. One passage shows Tyrion recalling in A Dance with Dragons, dragons are neither pets nor slaves. They are fire made flesh. Supporters of this theory connect it with hints about Aerys and Joanna Lannister, speculating Tyrion could be a secret Targaryen. Others dismiss it as a misdirect by George, and just his intellect makes him fascinated with dragons. What do you guys think? I mean, the dragon one's a long shot, but
I like the dragon one because I want the he wanted a dragon for his name day. It wouldn't even have to be a big dragon.
Yeah, right,
speech,
right.
you know?
Yep.
You know, in Norse mythology thing, you have a dwarf named Fafnir.
Mm-hmm.
His dad is the richest man in the world. The dwarf kills his dad, runs off, and then becomes a dragon.
Wow.
Does that sound like Tyrion?
Whoa.
Yeah, big time.
So I'm thinking the dragon riding thing actually just might happen, and I think Martin wants it to happen too. However,
Okay, do you think it will be based on a bloodline, or do you think it'll be something akin to like sheep, stealer, and nettles?
not sure, but you know that prophecy about waking the dragon from the stone?
Yeah,
Tyrion,
that's like one of the main things of the Azor Ahai.
yes. So if he has grayscale, right, and gets to ride a dragon, that prophecy would kind of be true.
Yeah.
And there's also that thing where they keep calling him a gargoyle and a demon monkey, and he's also lost his nose, right?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a gargoyle. Gargoyles are made of stone. I think he's gonna. The grayscale is
Actually got him.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be, it's gonna, develop,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not gonna die. I think he's gonna. It's gonna be like a bittersweet ending, because we know at the end he's eventually gonna succumb to grayscale.
Right.
I don't
And
know.
then he's going to be put up at the castle, right up the top, and overlooking everyone.
Yep. Probably not that, but metaphorically.
And that could be his tall shadow.
Mm-hmm.
He's casting a tall shadow.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, Castle Rock is tall, so naturally the sun gets behind it. It's going to go for like miles. So, but I don't think he's a secret Targaryen. I think if anyone in the family would be a secret Targaryen, it's his sister. Like with her obsession with wildfire and everything, and literally her very first line in her POV is her dreaming. I mean, sure, it wasn't of dragons, but it was of the throne.
Which could be a sign of madness.
Yeah. I mean, when the whole fire, when the wildfire happened, she was basically described as full of ecstasy, and Jamie looked at her and he recognized that that moan that she gave because he'd seen it before.
Yeah. Also, with the the Targaryens, the gods flip a coin. Well, a coin would kind of be twins, wouldn't it? The one of the twins goes nuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of the twins has nuts.
That's true too. And the other one wants nuts.
Oh man, that's awesome. Totally effed up, and I liked it.
Which the ironic thing, if that was the case, and Cersei was actually a Targaryen, then technically her sons would have a right to the throne.
Mm-hmm. Truth.
So Joffrey's Targaryen's always sat on the throne. There you go.
Jeez. All right, we're gonna move on. What about Dany? Like, there is a good chance that
I think she's a Targaryen, yeah.
No, that's true. But he ends up with her, and then maybe the Edric or the Aegon one, because he doesn't want to see Aegon lose after making connection with him on the Rhoynar. Because I'm trying to see where they led that to, like how he gets to Aegon. So he would have to.
Well, in her House of the Undying vision, which seems to be fairly accurate, the vision.
Mm-hmm.
He never sits on the throne. She sees the throne, but never sits on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important. And
when she finally arrives, the city's already destroyed. She's like, "Oh man, I don't want to be the Queen of Ashes."
Well, the one thing
better
they
go
can't
fight
do
the
is
undead.
they can't have her die in childbirth, though, because that would be so anticlimactic and kind of like be one of the very few badass female characters.
Childbirth is a woman's battleground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you remove the dragons, is she really that badass?
That's a good point.
No.
Because I don't think so. I think that Arya is more badass.
Yeah.
Than that, and Melisandre too. And
Yeah.
Okay, if you
egrets.
remove the dragons, she did walk out of a pyre after
Yeah.
being set alight. So I mean, that is kind of badass.
Tits exposed, everything.
But everything apart from that, I think the way that she's literally gotten out of every scenario that she's been stuck in is with the dragons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except for in the show where she tortures all the Khalasar, but that hasn't happened.
No. They also said they added that scene because they wanted more feminism. And that's what they did with Dorne, too. They wanted to add feminism to the story as if it doesn't have that already.
Like you're
Right.
talking about one of the most progressive cities in all of the... And that's why I think Dany will end up in Essos. Like, because they don't have an issue with female rulers.
Mm-hmm.
Westeros seems to do.
Yeah.
Like, that would be funny. They get over there and she's like, yeah, cool. It's like, but your son's going to rule. And she went, no, no. Women don't do this. We've literally had wars over this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Dorne story in the show, it doesn't even make sense because what's essentially a glorified prostitute with no claim to any throne
Mm-hmm.
kills the Prince of Dorne and just sits down and rules. And nobody has an issue
in front of
with
his guards, too.
Yeah. Nobody
Right.
has an issue with it. There's nobody next in line for that throne in all of Dorne. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
yeah, at that stage there is, because the son's still alive.
And the reason they did it was because they liked the actress. That's what they said. They liked the actress, so they
God.
altered the story because they liked her personally.
Oh, we're done with that.
They liked
But
the
you know,
actress. They
but
killed her off 4 episodes later.
But
Yeah.
the funny thing is you take that logic to the whole why they think they're going to ship Rhaenyra and Alicent in season 3, that they're
Mhm.
gonna their friendship is going to build and they're going to have a possible kiss or something, have some type of romantic relationship. It's like they can't get over themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the reason that you got the White Worm scenario. That was just freaking Emma Darcy that threw it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a case of, political virtue signaling altering the story, right? And all
Mhm.
kinds of changes like that have ripple effects. And why do that when you already have a bunch of badass female characters? I mean, hell, they had Nettles, and
No, they don't.
ignored her, right?
Mm.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
needed more people of diversity in there.
They had
Yeah,
to race swap an entire house and then decided to cut out the black character.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, we have enough of them now, so we don't need that one.
Yeah. We
That's what-
created enough.
Nice.
But
We
ultimately, what
created
they're
enough.
saying, it doesn't matter. We can just replace one black character with another, and no one will have an issue with it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, man.
on the main show, they could have used Ariana Martell because she has her own chapters, but she got cut from the show.
She's not
entirely.
even there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was dumb. I'm
And
sorry.
that is a
was dumb.
badass female character.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
they
is.
could have used Victorian as well. Oh wait, he wasn't there either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
So
we're
it's like they take like one step forward and then 3 back.
yeah, that's about right. It's ridiculous. So I do have a bunch others, but we kind of already talked a bit about Lady Stoneheart. We talked about Euron last week. Bran, I mean, either he's going to be, a savior type to help out the living, or he's going to be the puppet of the great other. So that's either or there.
I think, out of all of the characters that are left,
Mhm.
Euron is gonna get the most badass ending of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna go down like a boss, I think.
Most
And we're
likely.
never gonna get his POV.
Nope.
That's gonna suck. Yeah, Mason.
Oh, okay. Someone who his brother. I don't think he's making it out of wins because he's still tied to the front of the boat.
Oh yeah, that guy is gonna die slowly over several chapters, and he's gonna be completely insane before he dies. I think he's like breaking mentally.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd like to think Euron would take him off the front of the ship just as he's about to die and do some sort of blood magic to bring him back, and then throw him back on for another 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
And that's not the worst thing that he's done to him.
No.
Like,
No,
I mean,
no,
literally in that chapter, you find out that what he used to do to him as a child.
Yep. Rusty
Yeah.
door. Rusty nail. But okay, Mason, you were gonna say something.
Yeah,
I know you
so I really hope that Tyrion finds his uncle Tyrek Lannister in like Bright Roar, maybe before he goes back to Westeros. What do you guys think?
And he can't handle it. That would be awesome. Like he's some old man that he finds. I don't know. Was he going? He was supposedly going to the Doom, Valeria, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we know of a character who has returned. So
yeah, there was
Allegedly.
one Lannister
Well, I
that
think
took
two.
Bright Roar and went to Valeria and got lost.
Mhm.
And Tyrek Lannister went there to try and reclaim Bright Roar.
right.
Never heard from again. He was
Right.
in like Volantis, I think. And
Could he be one of the Red Priests, having taken a new name?
I would love it. Or like, no, the Tattered Prince is dead, right? Because I was going to think maybe he'd be someone like that. That's a good one. Well, I'll have to think about that one. What about Edric Storm? You know, we see him. We only hear about him.
He was great in the show.
Well, you know that like we only hear about him in what Stannis's that prologue with Craster trying to protect him, or not just that. You also have what's his name, Davos, making sure not to harm the kid. So will Davos have to smuggle him away at some point? I think he's so far out of the story. Like we haven't heard anything. Will he come back as a political pawn somehow?
I
When
think so,
Stannis
but
dies.
I think he'll be brought up and maybe used, but I think that's it. I don't think he's going to be in the story much at all. I'm thinking Gendry.
Yeah, kind of
More
overshadows that. Yeah, I think that's it. Once Gendry started getting bigger in the books, I think, Edric was kind of forgotten because technically he would be, I don't know, because he is Robert's bastard that he actually like said was his bastard. He's one of only like two, I think. He would have the better claim to the Stormlands than Gendry. So maybe Gendry kills him. I don't know. He resurfaces only to die, something like that.
Gendry
Or maybe
is
he
still
takes
the
the
same.
role.
Still.
Tina first. What did you say?
Maybe they just combine the storylines, like they did with John and Fagon. That perhaps it's just
Yeah, but that's in the show. I'm talking like the books.
Yeah.
George.
Well,
no.
leaving this guy-
I'm just saying though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant
You
to
see
get
him
there
doing
that Gendry is somebody that maybe he is killed for his king's blood,
Mm.
and then Edric Storm is actually has more of the
So
longevity.
Edric Storm is the one that goes into battle with the hammer.
Exactly.
That'd be dope. The Gendry gets killed and he becomes the one that resurfaces.
I think Tina's spot on though that the show combined the two characters.
Yeah. They had to. I mean, that's what they did. Gendry definitely took the leech part and stuff like that. That would have been Edric Storm.
It also makes sense if because they had to shorten the cast a bit.
Mhm.
Having Gendry get the Edric Storm role,
Right.
I understand that one.
I'm going to show that in a minute, Biggles, what you sent me. I thank you too. I was very, I've been waiting to see you pop up. And the last one then we'll go with is Daario Naharis.
I think he's Euron. I'm convinced.
You are, man, huh?
Yeah, that's right. We had a chat about that, and the timing, like it does sort of make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Euron verse more than I like Daario, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Euron is just acting.
Yeah.
You know.
So which is the real one then?
Well, Euron, but we know that Euron can do faceless man stuff.
Yeah.
Because Euron tells Aaron Damphair that he killed Balon on the bridge, threw him off, and Bran sees it in one of the the wolf vision things, right?
Yep.
And he sees
I
a
thought
man.
you hired a faceless man to do it.
No, he sees Bran sees a man with no face,
Right.
killing Balon Greyjoy on the bridge, and then later on in the sample chapter thing, Euron confesses to Aaron Damphair that he personally threw him over the bridge.
See, yeah, I don't remember that. If he said I know he said
Yeah, I don't
he
remember that either.
killed
That's why I'm
him, but
confused.
Yeah,
that could be taken that way. Yeah.
I thought he said it the other way. He said, I killed Balon. I couldn't do it myself, but he still died by my hand, or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought he hired. I thought the whole thing was he hired a faceless man to do it. He could afford it.
No, I think he said he did it himself.
Because I know in the TV show he's the one that does it.
Oh yeah.
And then he tells Damphair he's going to dress up as Daario and fucks the queen.
And Euron's the figurine at the front of his ship is exactly the same as Daario's dagger hilt.
Mm-hmm.
And Daario did capture 96 ships for Daenerys.
Mm-hmm.
And then Euron gives Victarion 96 ships.
96 ships, yeah, that's right. That's what I was just like, no, you're wrong. And then I checked and I went, no, you are right.
Yeah.
Because there was 92, but he already had 4 with him. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's that number is a hint because it's exact. And they keep saying, Euron's gifts are always poisonous, and the first thing Daario gives Daenerys is a poisonous flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Or maybe he even gave a basket full of locusts.
Yeah, and Euron is confident that he's going to marry Daenerys.
You are right. When in the sample chapter, when Aaron confronts Euron about Balon's death, Euron says, I killed Balon Greyjoy, and I laughed as he fell.
Yeah.
Didn't say he threw him off the bridge, though.
But he says, I laughed as he fell. So I know, Grant, because I kind of did he really do it? But I mean,
he must have been there.
He had to see it. He had to be there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't straight out. It's weird because he not.
Unless he's got some sort of foresight or something, or he can green seeing or something like that.
I don't know, man. Well, but from his words, it makes it definitely sound like he was there and actually did it.
Or he warged into somebody and did it.
Right. It could be. I don't know.
But then, right as he dies, Euron returns conveniently just a day or something later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The ship was just off the coast. They put him ashore and they killed him. But if he killed them personally, and it looks like he did, right? He has faceless man skills because it's confirmed by Bran.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think we're probably going to have some sort of revelation about him soon. Like early on.
Hopefully it's not about a finger in the bum. Because, with his history with his brothers, that makes it really dark.
Ooh.
I think he's
his fingers are really dark. Ugh.
I think he's going to be telling Damphair a lot of things in Damphair's chapters. But imagine, you can tell how it fucked up Damphair, though, because he got abused. And after he got abused, he makes sure every other one on the Iron Islands also tastes the salt he tasted by drowning them.
Yeah.
That's what he meant by taste my salt. I took it a completely different way.
So in the Barristan chapters, they specifically mention Daario, saying be on the lookout to find out where he's being kept. We need to free him. So I wonder if that's going to be a big revelation that
He's not
maybe
even
he's
there.
not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Daario is never with Daenerys when Euron is on the Iron Islands.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And she hasn't seen him since Euron took the throne on the Iron Islands.
Yeah, because he went to do something for her and
Yeah.
never came back. Got
And
captured.
we also know that he's using blood magic to make his ship go faster. You know,
You're at
he
the
has
5-minute mark if you want.
Oh
the
yeah,
short-
that's true. We'll have to talk about that again because I want to show this real quick. Biggles sent this to me, which was really nice of him. How do I expand? There we go. So Biggles sent me one of my favorite characters in any anime, Asta from Black Clover. So it comes with like extra hands, and then it has like this 36 with little hands. I don't know if you can
Full
see the
screen
little
it.
hands. I
Go
don't
full
know what-
screen.
Oh, I'm not full screen.
36. What position
You are
is that?
full screen.
Yeah,
I am?
you are full screen.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what the little hands in the 36 means. And then
It's a sexual thing. It's
It might
position.
It's a 3 and it's a 3 into 6.
yeah. I don't know what that, and I don't know what that references with him. And then, which is cool, I just opened this, so I didn't see this before. I got like a little black clover pendant or something. So the 5-leaf clover, which means the devil. So thank
Ooh.
you, bro. I really appreciate this. This is so cool. Thank you so much. And at some point I'll send Tina her stuff.
It's cool
It's
until
probably
that
to do with the
dog-
36 chapters that's in the manga.
Okay, I don't read the manga, and you just looked that up. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you know why the manga characters have big eyes and small mouths and all that stuff? Because they're
That's
manga
how Euron
lord.
likes it.
I love you, Grant. Real quick, I'm just going to look at this. Is Euron Rio? You know, we'll talk about that next week. I'll create a couple of the fun theories, and Euron is Daario theory is one we need to talk about. So we will do that next week. Is a good smile related? Okay. Anybody want to share anything before we leave? Like Mason, could you guys please sub to him? He needs 20 more people. To
Yeah, I
reach
have a
100.
video out.
You have a video out.
Yeah, I just put one out on Bethesda, doing the whole thing about Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
what
got a couple
happened?
more planned. So, like days after they put up a clip from Indiana Jones, and it's like, "Good kid, you don't care about those fascists." It's like, geez, man.
Yeah, they take the room, take the temperature of the room,
I'm
people.
not buying Elder Scrolls 6. It's going to be so
Yeah.
dumbed down anyway.
So messed up.
Yeah,
So messed up.
still no apology, but they had
No.
to have Microsoft say like, "Hey, we don't want any of our companies, taking political stances."
Yeah. Well, we got
But-
some YouTubers in the fandom that are taking political stances, and that really pissed me off.
Yeah, what a ghoul.
Yeah. But we really have to end it. I'm sorry to end abruptly. I lost track of time, and if I wanted to make me some really crappy shorts that sometimes do a good job, I have to automatically end before the 2-hour mark. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Stig, thanks for waking up and coming out and hanging with us. And Mason and Tina and Grant, as always, I really appreciate you guys. But we are out, guys. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.